Welcome to Toy Hill Studio. My name is Kendall Kessler. I put up painting demos and studio tours, and please check out my intro video. In 2 minutes you can find out all about me, where I've been, where I'm going, what my goals are. Also, there will be a link to this painting at the top of the description at the end. Might not have it done at the end, but it'll be close, and then I will finalize it and then put up the link. Last time I was going to do an abstract painting, which most people call abstracts, artists call non-figurative or non-objective, and something showed up, so I went with it. I like to do that. I mean, that is really weird. And that is what it looked like, this creature with the scales. So it became one of my paintings in my suggestions series where something shows up, I bring it out. It's a really interesting series. So this time I have a different plan. Oh, also forgot to say I used some tissues in this. And I've been doing that for several YouTubes. Something I don't do in my oil paints, which is what I mainly do. But I thought I'd do one more. And this time I'm going to do it in such a way that it will probably be what people call abstract, non-objective, non-figurative painting, because I'm going to do it in a very, very methodical way. Probably won't turn out. Not that I'm putting myself down or anything, but usually these ideas of mine, what happens is I end up changing my mind. So I'm not going to use a lot of water, but I'm going to really put the paint in an arc. And I'm not going to worry too much about the color, but as always I'm going to use a lot of color. That's my thing, lots of color. And not a lot of water. I've got to make sure it doesn't dry too quick because, as I've said many times, acrylics just dry practically as soon as you put them down. So I've got to move along on this. And then I'm going to take the tissue in it and see what happens. Well, like that. Love getting all kinds of modulations of colors. But if I get caught up in that, I'm going to not be able to do this because it's going to dry on me. Well, I'm just going to get some paint in and stop probably right about there. Maybe just a little bit more. Got to make sure that brush doesn't get real wet. Got to clean off the colors, but if the brush gets real wet, then this is not going to work out. This is going to be dripping all over the place, which I'm probably going to end up doing anyway, but I'm just going to try this. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is now I'm going to take the tissue and put it into it, bunch it up real good, and see what kind of textural effects I get. There's already a lot of interesting texture right now as far as I'm concerned, but let's see what happens when I do this too. Not much. All right. Well, that's not what I was hoping to get. I was hoping to get a lot more complicated systems. Probably going to end up doing something like this to make it more interesting. Well, it's an interesting idea. I'm still going to keep doing it, but I have a feeling I'm going to be modifying it quite a bit. So I got to get the brush to be dry. I do like the way some of the colors went together. That was nice because it's a little bit garish the way I had it, and now I don't think it's garish. So this one I'm going to go this way. Maybe I'll even loop it around. See, I don't think something might show up. Might look like a flower or something, but trying to avoid that. I'm trying to have a painting that is something you either like or don't like just because of the way it looks. Music without words. You either react to it and say, oh cool, or it's like, no. But it's not because it looks like a horse, doesn't look like a horse, looks like a ballerina, doesn't look like a ballerina, looks like a car, doesn't look like a car. You don't bring your biases into it, which we all have. We all like to see certain things more than other things depending on things we like, who we are. Okay. I don't know, maybe I need to get it a little bit wet. I might try that on one of them. So I was hoping to get more of a textural effect, and I don't think that was much. I like it better down right through there. I am going to try to just follow this pattern, and then I'll probably just fill in the back. But I think that I am going to keep it non-objective by doing this. It's going to be a pattern, but no specific subject matter. All right, try it again. We're indoors with a snowstorm here, and I'm hoping nobody's going to come down while I'm working, because then I got to talk to them, which, why not? I mean, I've seen lots of YouTubes where people come in while they're filming it and talking to them. What's wrong with that? Makes it real. Okay, well that's better than the last one. I really like what happened right through there. So I am gonna just do this. Gotta keep getting that brush dry. That's a problem. I don't want to keep picking up different ones because I tend to be a little bit on the clumsy side when I do this. And I'll probably just drop it on the floor somewhere. And that's not good. Alright, now let's see. I think I'll do this one this way. Down here. It's already 5 minutes. That's not bad. Can always stop and say, it's going to be finished later. Anyways, I was saying, we're taking turns getting the snow up. What we're doing is something my brother did, which I thought was really smart. Instead of waiting for an igloo to show up, he would every so often, every hour or so, go out there when there's just an inch there and just brush it off. I thought that was really smart. But we're actually thinking that we don't really want to do that. That we might just hire somebody. But as my husband said, I don't think we're going to find anybody today with all this snow coming down. It's supposed to be really bad, and then freezing rain, then snow again. It's going to be a mess. Well, I do like the colors I'm getting. I'll give it that much. But I think I'm going to have to get wilder with the tissue and go all through here for me to really get something that I like. But it is really getting very complicated, and regardless of whatever I do, it doesn't matter if it's a mountainscape or person or whatever. I like really complicated systems of color and texture. That's just the way I am. I think that that really is true about when people say that music and art just really go hand in hand, because I like real complicated music. I like some that's not, but I really get into the ones with zillions of notes, all kinds of complicated composition. I've never really studied music that much, but I know they do have composition like artists do. I just really get into that. But there's some that doesn't have a lot of complexity I like too. There was some interesting minimal work at the same time that artists were doing minimal stuff in the 70s, which is really interesting. Just came across that recently. Okay, 7 minutes, doing pretty good. All right, I'm gonna do this again. I'm gonna hope we're not running out of tissues here. I was thinking of maybe my paper towel. I did one with that, and that turned out really cool. But I thought, well, I don't want to go back and forth. I'm just gonna use the tissues. Well, that's certainly making those oh yeah. Actually, I'm starting to like this. I don't know if I want to keep on doing that or if I want to just start doing something different. As I said, I always like to be very experimental with YouTubes. I look forward to what happens because I have an idea every time, but I'm not a precise idea. Not like when I'm working on a Blue Ridge landscape where it's going to be the Blue Ridge. And that is my main thing. And I love to do wildflowers, really into wildflowers right now. Okay, maybe I could get a little more solid or something. Kind of did that when I'm thinking about it. That might be nice. I don't know if I want to do another one of those spirals. Maybe I should do one more right through there or something. I don't know. This is really experiment, fun. Yeah, maybe go on another movement going through this way. Like that. And I want to keep them, but I'm not sure that I will. I might not. I might just let it go, get more and more into just the colors and the textures and not worry about the spirals. But I'll tell you one thing, I don't see anything in this. If you're seeing something, then you are associating something that I'm not seeing. I'm just seeing color. I'm seeing color and textures. I'm not seeing anything unless you want to, make some kind of flower or something. I guess you could possibly say there, or some kind of animal that has tentacles or something like that, maybe. That would be the only thing I could see. Otherwise, it really is music without words. You either like it or you don't like it, the way I put it together. I feel sorry for my husband right now because he's such a naturalist. He gets up in the middle of the night practically to go out and study and to check out on different wildlife, and mostly birds and butterflies. Well, not butterflies right now, of course, but mostly birds, and he just lives for that. Yesterday, even though he couldn't go out walking, it was just too cold and awful, but he wanted me with him, and he might have done anyway because he's real good with the cold, but he wanted me with him, so I drove him around in certain places, and he went out in that freezing cold and checked on bird populations. And that's what he does. His maternal grandmother really got him interested in that. Oh, I like that. And he's just quite a naturalist. I thought he'd uploaded like 20,000 sightings to Cornell. I think it's called eBird. Cornell. And actually, it's 40. Whoa, I just found that out. Wow, it's already 10 minutes. I've gotten to the point now where I'm going to have to really get to the end of this. So I can just have this 15 minutes. Or I can just, turn it off and keep going. But I like to tease him sometimes because he is such a naturalist. And he's also a writer. And I love wordplay. And he just cracks me up with his wordplay. But sometimes I try that too. And sometimes I'm good at it. Most of the time, it just makes him groan. So he was saying the other day, the only thing he's seen is a few juncos fly by. And I said, oh yeah, I guess those are the trashy birds. He was not amused. I thought it was kind of funny. He was not amused. I mean, yeah, they're called juncos. So why not trashy? Oh well. Well, this is kind of interesting. You don't really, you see the spirals, but they're not really dominating at all. It is an abstract painting. If that's not your thing, well, then you're not going to like this. But I like it all. It's all abstract to me. I mean, it's all an arrangement. And that's weird. If you're a painter, you know what I'm talking about. It's all an arrangement. It doesn't matter whether it's a photorealistic painting of somebody or a very abstract, wild painting. It's all an arrangement. And we artists are all trying to arrange something that we think is interesting to look at, a visual experience that expresses ourselves. I mean, so much of what I'm doing right here is a result of zillions of years of working with color and how I react to color. Lots and lots of practice. Yeah, I don't know if I want to go back. Well, maybe I should. Maybe I should do a little more with the tissue. I'm not going to worry about the spirals anymore, although I'm still kind of going around in it. I think this is probably one of the most complicated non-objective paintings, non-figurative paintings I've ever done. So that's cool, especially since I'm doing it on YouTube and talking at the same time, which isn't easy. That's where I like to do it. After 20 years of doing that in front of students, it's just like second nature. Okay, I'm going to use another tissue. This will probably be the last one, and see, especially through here where I really did some different stuff. Color systems that I don't usually do, but I wanted to get some variety, which is also part of almost all art. Yeah, the minimalists, they kind of got down to just bare information in the 70s, and that's not my favorite, but it can be cool. Okay, now I've lost some of the really nice color I had, so I'm not so sure I should do more of that. I might just add a little more color and say, enough. Maybe with a smaller brush, start getting some real strong accents. Yeah, I don't see anything. You might. Sometimes people put in the comments, well, I saw this, and I saw this. And lots of times people put in the comments things that they're seeing as I'm doing this that I didn't pick up on at all, which is cool. One thing I truly believe is we do not all see alike. In fact, I used to tell students this all the time, that studies indicate that your vision is really more in your mind, that it's more in your mind than in your eyesight. That we all notice different things according to our personality, according to what we like, and don't see other things. And I firmly believe that. Do portraits. Trust me, you will find that out. One person will say, wow, looks just like him. Another person will say, doesn't look anything like him. We do all see differently, and that's cool. Okay, I don't know. I think I'm starting to lose some of what I had, and I'm getting a little frustrated because I think the accents are not working as well as I want to. I don't make any sense, but it's what I do. Okay, that's better. Starting to kind of just put paint on and not reacting and getting any vibrancy. Now it's starting to get good. Okay, I think I'll just do a little bit more. Maybe use a little more white. I've used very little white in this one because I wanted to have it really vibrant. And I was afraid that if I used white, I would lose a lot when I use the tissue. Darn it, I keep not getting what I want through here. Okay, that's better. Getting a little more contrast, a little more vibrancy. Well, this is cool. I shouldn't say cool all the time. That's funny, I never used to use that word for the longest time. I always thought that's kind of dumb, and I never used it. Now I use it all the time. I can see why people use it. Okay. Well, I guess I could keep going back into this and getting more texture and then adding more accents, but I think it's going to get muddy and there's just not going to be anything left. So I think I'll stop it right now. As I said, the link to the painting will be at the top of the description, link to my Etsy shop, my website, and other sites that have my work.